At least 17 countries own some part of one or more tobacco firm. These companies are often the largest domestic cigarette suppliers. They produce more than half the world's cigarettes, even as smoking kills more than 7 million people a year. In our series, Smoking for the State, the examination explored how state involvement in tobacco companies has shaped regulation, benefited insiders, and kept cigarette prices low. We focused on China, Egypt, and Laos. These three countries are parties to the World Health Organization Framework Convention on Tobacco Control, a landmark public health treaty. A key provision of the treaty is that governments are to protect public health policies from the, quote, vested interests of the tobacco industry. But how are government health policies to be protected from tobacco industry influence when the government itself is in the tobacco business? China National Tobacco Corp., a state-run monopoly, has used its seat on a government panel to thwart efforts to reduce smoking. Egypt recently opened up its cigarette market and began selling some of the government's stake in its former tobacco monopoly. But that appears to mainly benefit Philip Morris International and a small group of politically connected insiders. In Laos, the state monopoly was transformed by a joint venture with UK tobacco giant Imperial Brands. That deal did long-term harm to tobacco control efforts and secretly channeled millions to a family member of a Laotian leader. We reached out to the governments and tobacco companies for comment. Only Imperial offered a response to our questions, saying it follows, quote, all applicable compliance standards. There's no simple takeaway when examining the relationship between government ownership of tobacco companies and health outcomes. Cigarettes are inexpensive, simple to produce, and highly addictive. Hence, they're extremely profitable. So whether a cigarette company is owned by the government or the private sector, our reporting shows that policies to control smoking are still influenced by tobacco profits. Visit theexamination.org to read the full series and to subscribe to our newsletter.